All right, so today we're going to be replacing this hinge. This is a right-hand mirror from a W140. Same process for left-hand driver's side. Here's the replacement hinge. First thing you want to do, it's got to be in the folded the folded position, and you want to make sure this isn't going to get bunched up. So you go through all the work and then it gets bunched up. So I like to test them before I even start. So see that the wires move, so that's a good one. Also, and if your wires are exposed like this one, it's garbage. It's going to short everything out. Don't restore that one. So see how these wires are good? So here we go. The first thing we're going to do is remove the glass. It's held with this little, I don't know what you call that, a rod. I use a little thing like this. Clip that out, pull that up, and then gently get something in here to pop that off, and then gently pull this without damaging the wires. So we got that off. That's number one. Next, we are going to remove this, and this is a, I don't know, some of them have screws, but this is a hex 8. So if you don't know what a hex is, it's a little weird tip. So we pull that. There's 3 screws. Pull it up. This one's a little. All right, and unplug that. Pull by the green, not the wires. So that's off. Now we're going to turn it over. We want to take this plate off, and it's important you don't bend the tabs. So I use one of these. I gently pull these out, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's still hooked. Trying to get under here. There we go. So you see these little tabs on it. So we're going to put that off to the side. Now this is the piece that keeps the cover on. So see these 2 little things? They hit on that, and that's what keeps this on. So we need to remove that right now. So just pull it up. All right, now we need to take this spring off, pull that up, and I've cut myself in these things before, so be careful. So that's attached to the broken hinge. Pull that up. I like to pull, this is always pulled all this way. I like to pull it a little bit, but I cut my fingers doing it a lot, so put that off to the side. So now we're down to the broken hinge. So it's held with 2 pins. I'll show you what they look like. I've got extras. One is long like this, and it only goes in one way from the top. So you don't want to try to get it out going through the bottom because it's never going to do it. So each of these, sorry, this is the bottom. Each of these is coming up a little tiny bit, and you want to smack that down so that you can use one of these. So I'm going to use this to get it flush. see this. You just want to kind of smack it. I'm going to use this. All right, got one ready. All right. So now that they're sticking out a little, you should be able to just pull it without bending it. Okay, we got one out. That's this short one. We're gonna put that with the pile. And now, for some reason, this one's giving me. I think it got a little bent. Yeah, it's a little bent from when it got hit, when it broke. So if you don't have an extra one, you want to straighten that out. Luckily, I have an extra one. So we're almost there. So now we have to gently take these wires out without cutting them against the metal. Pull this out. Make sure this isn't bent up. Sometimes if you had a really hard hit, this will break. This looks good. So now, here's the broken, wow, broken 2 spots. This is the new one. Well, it's not new, but it's strong. Just, you want to really torque on it if you're using a used one to make sure it's not broken. All right, so we're gonna thread these wires through it. And the first thing you're gonna do is line up this notch with this. So we're gonna put the gotta be lined up. And remember, you're going through the top with the long one. Make sure that's lined up. And kind of tap it down. And then you want to look underneath, see if you can see the end. I don't think you can see it there, but we're going to give this a smack. It's not really coming through. Let's try it on metal. Now that one's flat. You can see it coming through. So now we're gonna put this on. Let's put these wires through here. And this is when the small little rod goes in. Again, I'm looking to see if it's coming through. It is, so I'm going to smack it again. All right. So, new hinge is in. I'm going to put this in here gently. This should be beyond this little ridge, so it's not exposed to that sharp metal. I'm not going to say this was a terrible design, but this mirror was a terrible design. All right. So we put that in there. Now we are going to do the reverse. So this is going to go in. This goes in this hole. Hook it on to the hinge. and then don't cut yourself. I hate doing this part. So you pull it back, so there, that gives it the tension. So now we are going to, let's throw the old hinge away. Let's install this. So you're going to plug this in. And then just line it up. Use this as a guide, so it's kind of down here, then you just line these up. And the screws are still in it. If you don't turn it upside down, they stay there because they're a little annoying to get back in if they come out. So we're just tightening this up with a T8. I should probably fast forward this part if I could edit this thing, but it's important to keep all the parts together. So I've got everything in a pile so you don't forget anything. So and if you're looking for these parts, I sell everything on eBay. It's username DEMICHAE. So I've got the hinges. If you lose any of the other stuff, I can even sell you the little, those metal rod things that bend. Okay, so now we're gonna put the mirror back on. So first thing we're gonna do is plug it in. And then for this, you want, flip it over, these black things to be on the outside of the aluminum pieces. So you're gonna line it up with this top thing, start from the bottom, and then push it till it snaps. And then this has gotta go on like that. I'm not sure Mercedes still uses that, but I've seen that even in the, like 2010, they were still using that design. Very odd. So what we've got left, this thing, and you're not going to get the mirror cover on if you forget, so you've got to put this on. So there's little tiny holes that one goes in, and then you can just kind of pull it and get it in the other one. And you're not done, you have to load it, push it so it snaps on there. So that's ready to receive this once you're done. All right, the last piece is this. So again, you need to make sure you didn't bend the little tabs, and we want to make sure this isn't exposed to the sharp metal. All right, so that's back together. I think, oh, there we go. It wasn't snapped yet. You want to kind of pull on it so it should be tight. So let's see how it did. I still have the donor wires here from the donor car. I think green and black is, let's see. Here we go. There, that's unfolded, folded. So that's it. So it's 14 minutes. It's probably going to take you a little longer the first time, but it's not that hard. Again, if the wires are exposed, don't even bother. Just buy a E-Class one that doesn't have the power fold and put that on. Also, see this here? This has to be here. Both of these pieces to hold this from moving. If yours is broken off, it's going to be garbage. So on a later version, or I don't know what year, they put a little pin over this, a little round circle that attaches. But don't bother if one of these is missing. It's not going to work for the power fold. But that's it. Oh, and see how this is a little raggy? I I get these gaskets at the junkyard from the E-Class or C-Class. Let's see if I have one for this. That's the wrong side. That's the wrong side too. Here we go. So then I cut out the middle and then I put it over. And then I leave this part, but I cut it over so you have a good seal. See how this is broken? All right, you can post comments or contact me if you have any questions. Thank you.